French Connection, The Conversation, Superman. Gene Hackman has died at the age of 95. Agents from the FBI did not expect what they found when they entered Gene Hackman's mansion. They were surprised to find what was hidden inside the property of the famous actor. The bodies of the Hollywood legend and his wife, Betsy Orocoa, were discovered in their New Mexico home. Gene Hackman was always known for his roles, but in private life many questions about his past and what might have been hidden for years were raised by what they found. Was it an old mystery, a lost treasure, or something much darker? As more details come to light, people everywhere are left wondering what was Gene Hackman really like when he wasn't in front of the cameras. Join us in this video as we uncover the details of the shocking discovery at Gene Hackman's mansion. A cloud of suspicion has formed around the deaths of two-time Academy Award-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Orocoa after their bodies were found in their large home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. At first, authorities said there were no signs of foul play, and early reports suggested carbon monoxide poisoning as the cause. However, in a surprising turn, investigators now call their death suspicious and have launched a full investigation. Two maintenance workers made the shocking discovery. According to the search warrant, they arrived at the property for routine work and found the front door open. Two more canines, meantime, were seen running loose on the grounds. Even more doubts were generated by the fact that a deceased dog was found inside a crate, which baffled investigators. It was evident from the decay and mummification of Gene Hackman and Betsy Orocoa's bodies that they had been dead for a long time before being discovered. Betsy Orocoa was discovered in the bathroom. After authorities investigated the rest of the house, she was resting on the floor close to a countertop where there were pills all over the place and an open pill container. This sparked speculation about whether she had overdosed, experienced a medical emergency, or something darker had occurred. One experienced investigator found the situation strange, saying, "In no way is it adding up to me. I've handled thousands of death cases over my career, and it is an anomaly to have two people fall over dead at the same time without some major cause." When federal investigators arrived, they were reportedly stunned by the condition of the bodies. An insider close to the investigation described their reaction as one of pure shock, saying, "You expect to see bodies in this line of work, but this was something else entirely. The level of decomposition, it's almost like time had frozen inside that house." Some officials wonder how such a famous actor and his wife could go unnoticed for so long while their bodies deteriorated inside their home. Authorities believe the results of the autopsies will be key in understanding what really happened. Right now, they are considering all possibilities, including natural causes, accidents, or even homicide. Gene Hackman, who was 95 at the time of his death, was one of Hollywood's most well-known actors. He won Oscars for The French Connection and Unforgiven and played major roles in over 80 films. Many fans knew him as Lex Luthor in the Superman movies or from the Royal Tenenbaums. Film experts praise his ability to switch between drama, action, and comedy with ease. One historian said he was believable in action films, had depth in dramatic roles, and was really funny in movies like Get Shorty. His range was incredible. Hackman retired from acting in 2009, citing health concerns. His last appearance at an award show was in 2003, when he received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Golden Globes. In 2023, he was seen in public for the last time with his wife outside a restaurant in New Mexico. He looked frail, using a cane and holding onto his wife's arm for support. News of his passing sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Actress Gwyneth Paltrow, who worked with Hackman in the Royal Tenenbaums, posted a tribute on social media, sharing a photo of them together with a broken heart emoji. After the bodies were found, the New Mexico Gas Company was called in to check for gas leaks. Since carbon monoxide poisoning was an early theory, investigators wanted to rule out any possible hazards. However, after inspecting all the gas lines, the company found no issues. The investigation is still ongoing as authorities continue to collect evidence and wait for autopsy and toxicology reports. Officials have assured the public that they will uncover the truth behind the mysterious and tragic deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Orocoa. What really happened inside Gene Hackman and Betsy Orocoa's home in their final days, and could the strange details surrounding their deaths reveal a deeper mystery? The bodies of Gene Hackman and Betsy Orocoa showed signs of drying out, which has led to many questions about how long they had been there and what caused their deaths. Some believe it may have been natural causes, an accident, or something self-inflicted. Others wonder if something more unusual happened. When deputies arrived, they found the couple's front door open. This has raised concerns about whether they left the door open themselves, possibly because they felt unwell, or if someone else had entered or left before the police arrived. Inside, Hackman was found in a small room near the back door. It looked as if he had fallen, as a cane and sunglasses were nearby. Orokowa was found in a bathroom on the other side of the house. A space heater had been knocked over, and pills were scattered on the counter next to an open prescription bottle. The house had 3 pets. 2 of them were still alive, but one was discovered dead in a carton. The survival of 2 dogs raises a possibility that food or water was available for a while, but it's likely that the dog in the crate was starving and thirsty, which supports the theory that the couple had been dead for days or perhaps weeks. According to experts, prolonged exposure to warm, dry air can cause skin to become leathery or stiff. Since this typically takes a few days to weeks, the couple had probably passed away for some time. It's not clear how warm or dry the house was at the time, but the space heater near Orokowa suggests that heating was being used. This could have made the air drier, speeding up the process. However, without further testing, the exact time of death is unknown. Authorities have ruled out carbon monoxide poisoning because fire officials and gas company workers found no signs of a leak, and the alleged autopsy confirmed it. There was also no sign that anyone had forced their way into the home, and neither of the bodies had any clear injuries. Despite this, investigators are keeping all possibilities open. Some have speculated that this may have been a case of one person taking another's life before their own. However, there are no obvious signs of violence, and in such cases people often leave notes or arrange their surroundings in a certain way, which does not appear to have happened here. Another theory is that the couple chose to end their lives together, possibly due to health concerns. In cases like this, people often take an overdose while lying next to each other, but since they were found in different rooms, this explanation does not fully make sense either. It is also possible that one of them died first, perhaps from a fall, an illness, or an overdose, and the other followed soon after, unable to cope. If Hackman fell in the mudroom, Orokowa may have found him and taken pills in distress. However, this remains unclear until test results show if any substances were involved. Another possible cause could be something in their environment, such as extreme dehydration or exposure to something harmful. Investigators are now looking into their medical history to see if either had health issues that could explain their sudden deaths. Since there are no clear answers yet, investigators are looking at all possible clues. Tests on their bodies could take weeks or months. Police are also checking their phone records, emails, and medical visits to see if anything unusual happened in the days before they died. Some have questioned whether another person could have been involved. While there were no signs of forced entry, the open door suggests someone may have been inside. It is unclear whether that person was a visitor, someone who found them earlier, or someone with harmful intentions. Right now, the cause of death is still unknown. Whether it was a tragic accident, a decision they made, or something else entirely remains to be seen until medical tests provide more answers. According to Gene Hackman's daughter, she believes carbon monoxide poisoning might have caused it. Elizabeth Gene Hackman told TMZ she believes toxic fumes could be the reason for their deaths. A gas company has confirmed it is helping with the investigation into what happened to the couple. Leslie and Hackman spoke with the Daily Mail after her father passed away. She said that even though he was old, he was still in very good shape. She explained that there were no signs of health problems before he died, so she believes a gas leak or carbon monoxide poisoning might have played a part. In her words, even at his age, he was in great shape. She also mentioned that he had not had any big surgeries in the months before he passed. Leslie shared that her father enjoyed doing Pilates and yoga several times a week, which helped him stay healthy. She said that while his passing at 95 wasn't too surprising, Betsy Orokowa's death at 63 raised more questions. She described their marriage as very happy and said, "I believe Betsy played a big part in keeping him going." Leslie talked about how much Betsy cared for him and always made sure he was doing well. Betsy took very good care of him and was always watching out for his health, Leslie said. For that, I am really grateful to her, and I am very sad that she's gone. Elizabeth is one of Hackman's 3 children from his first marriage to Faye Maltese. The two were married from 1956 until they divorced in 1986. Maltese passed away in 2017. Hackman later married Betsy Orokowa in 1991. After leaving Hollywood, he kept a low profile and was hardly seen in public. Gene Hackman's daughters Elizabeth and Leslie and his granddaughter Annie released a statement saying, "With heavy hearts, we share the sad news of our father Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy's passing. While millions admired him for his incredible acting, to us he was simply Dad and Grandpa. His loss leaves an emptiness that words cannot fill, and we are truly devastated." Many well-known stars are also remembering Hackman's legacy, including Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman. Eastwood, who directed and acted alongside Hackman in Unforgiven, shared his thoughts. "No actor was more talented than Gene. His performances were always real and powerful, never anything less than perfect." The demise of actor Gene Hackman is still a shock to many. However, he did leave a legacy. How did Gene Hackman go from being an ordinary man to one of Hollywood's most respected actors, leaving behind a legacy that will be remembered for generations? Hackman began his acting career at the renowned California Art School, Pasadena Playhouse. However, his peers didn't think well of him and even gave him the lowest chance of success. Hackman was not deterred. Rather, he was inspired to disprove their claims and demonstrate his true abilities. It was at the Pasadena Playhouse that he became good friends with Dustin Hoffman. At first, Hackman had a problem finding a job. Regardless of the numerous auditions, he was always turned down because of his acting skills and appearance. But he continued regardless. He acted in theater productions, taking small roles, and he got better every day. When he was given simple roles in television shows and films, his efforts started to pay off.